are some of King Von's most disrespectful moments, and first up, we have to talk about the time he disrespected FBG Wooski. Back in the day, Wooski was walking down King Drive, which was King Von's territory. Some members of a block were standing outside and there were police nearby, so nobody wanted to shoot because they would have been arrested right away. Instead of that, King Von and Wooski walked up to each other and started fighting. Other O-Block members jumped in because they really wanted to get Wooski, and things got so bad that the police had to step in and break it up. A few years later, Von even talked about it on Instagram Live after a troll mentioned Wooski's name.
This say she love Wooski, we don't even know no more Wooski. It's slower. Hey, Wooski ain't tell y'all ass one day, he ain't tell y'all that he too dumb to remember. I would punch up.
But Wooski told a different story in an interview with Cam Capone News. He claimed that he was actually the one beating up Von during the fight.
Standing right there, and the police just pulled up, and they thought they was just gonna stand right there. We got the whooping their.
After the interview hit the internet, many O-Block members said Wooski was capping and didn't beat Von in that fight. Shoebox Baby said, on the guys, Von touched him up bad that day. Another member even claimed Wooski threw a brick during the fight. But that wasn't the only time Von disrespected Wooski. He did it again in his music, rapping, "But Wooski, feel this one, I bet Wooski's still twitching." In that line, Von was mocking Wooski for a tragic incident. The day before Dusky's funeral, O-Block members were seen FaceTiming Wooski, telling him they had a surprise for him. So, on the day of the funeral, tension was high because everyone felt something could happen, and it did. And Wooski stepped outside the church to smoke a cigarette. 4 masked men in hoodies pulled up and started shooting. Wooski was hit in the head, and 5 others leaving the building were also shot.
This afternoon, there were a total of 6 people who were shot outside the church. It was a pandemonium, a scene of pandemonium right after that happened.
Thankfully, no one died in the shooting. But even though Wooski survived, the injury was so serious that he had no choice but to step away from the streets for a while. Still, Von didn't care. He kept dissing Wooski on social media, saying the shooting had changed him and that Wooski wasn't trying to diss him anymore.
Super gangster cause he ugly. I shot in his head, so now he's stupid, slow, they think that's savage. Man, don't nobody get shot in the head, that's goofy.
But if you thought Vine disrespected Wooski a lot, what he did to Tuka was way worse because he dissed him in multiple songs, since in a song with Slim Santana he says, "Caught that boy right by that bus, this is last stop," but Vine could also be referring to Little Mark, who was Tuka's brother, because 2 years after what happened to Tuka, something similar happened to Lil Mark, because on March 28th, 2014, Lil Mark was shot at a bus stop on the south side of Chicago, and one witness said that a man pulled up and opened fire, and after shooting Little Mark, he fled away, and a minivan. Police later found the van burning in flames, but Vine also threw shots at Tuka in another song, saying, "Tuka in my lung, I say that every time because he got smoked," but it doesn't stop there because there are even a ton of clips of Vine trolling and dissing Tuka online like these.
You shot Tuka? Say Tuka, man. Shoot him again. Shoot him in his head.
So look, my question for the day is, what is your message to your first buddy?
Tuka, let me get it now.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And all of the disrespect made people wonder why Vine hated Tuka so much, and after dissing him so much, Tuka became a meme on the internet and got to the point that Tuka's mother spoke on the situation, saying she wanted people to stop disrespecting her son.
When you hear people say they're smoking on your son, Tuka,
it makes me upset because, I mean, where do the level of disrespect come? Stop.
Now let's move on to the time King Vine disrespected Little J, because recently clips have been getting leaked of King Vine in some of his stops in Cook County Jail, and one clip went viral. Ravine asked the guards to move him into protective custody. Many people say he was doing this since he didn't want to be on the same deck as Little J, since Vine told the guards that Little J is very sus, and at first not a lot of people believe Vine that's Little J would always deny the rumors.
Messing with a guy, let's clear the air on that too. That's like the #1 thing people want to talk about.
When I heard it was the most goofy that I ever heard in my life. And I knew it had to come from somebody goofy or something. Never played my name like that, man.
But the truth came out once they clipped leak of Lil J letting a guy sit in his lap and kiss him. And after this clip hit the net, many people said King Vine was right this whole time, and even some of Lil J's own gang members were clowning him after seeing that clip.
Let me see you juke. That boy having a juke party on the whole in the Cook County. Sitting on his lap.
that means that you'll take that to anybody, given the time and the place. You the booty man. No,
booty man, bro.
That's the booty man.
The booty
and like,
man.
The way he grabbed that man, that's like he needed booty more than life itself, gang.
Than life itself, gang. Then speaking of those jail clips, it's also another incident that got leaked where King Vine got very disrespectful with one of his up in jail because all of the inmates were in the holding cell, and while in the cell, King Vine spotted his op 051 Freaky. So he slipped out of handcuffs, went over to the corner and started whooping Freaky since he had a tattoo saying FLA Capone, but it didn't last long since the police broke everything up and pay-vanned the handcuffs. Now let's move on to when King Vine straight up disrespect to Key since in exposing me he raps I swear I killed her, broke her back. King Vine refers to Key, a feared Chirac assassin and member of STL, and she was highly respected among her gang members, and almost feared by all the except for being Vaughn, because in 2012, King Vine and Chicago gang member Key were in some serious beef and they wanted to get to each other badly, and the day would finally come on September 25th, 2012, because Key had caught the train to go somewhere, and while on the train she spotted King Vaughn, one of her main hopes. In the time they saw each other, things were on-site. Vine punched Kay in the face multiple times and did her very bad, and a few hours later, once Vine got home, he went to Twitter and explained how things went down because he made a tweet saying it whipped on the train, lacking think about it. Okay, I acknowledged what happened with the tweet and said, my arm up my ear and I got a bruise on my face. Okay, I followed that tweet and said, ain't got but a bruise on my face, but ain't tripping at 40 cal, but a hole in that opera's face, but things ain't in there. Since on April 11th, 2014, okay, I was going to one of her friend's houses for a birthday party around 3:30 p.m. when Vine and Bigga, another roadblock member, caught her lacking and started firing. She died on the scene at just 17 years old and back. In 2021, the Chicago Police Department named Vaughn as the offender who shot at Key, and Vine has referred to her many times in his songs. Because in War With Us, he says, put a pretty up in a morgue call that Drop Dead, Gorgeous, and Vine used to troll. Key and called her pretty since he wanted to get close to her so he could set her up, and she most likely knew. This since she was never down to meet with King. Vaughn and one of Kai's friends interviewed for a documentary about her and said that Kay Sylvan was doing that to try and set her up.
Really liked her, and he was like, well, she too pretty for that, and tell her to stop gang banging, you know.
He liked her as a girlfriend?
Yeah, he wanted to be her boyfriend. She just felt like he was trying to set her up and kill her. That's what she told me. She's like, I think he just trying to kill me. He don't like me. What's the like?
Gay. I started her assassin career after wanting to get revenge for the death of her close friend Tuka. This led her to shoot ODI. Perry, a member of Oblak, so it makes sense why she thought Vine wanted to set her up, and in the same interview, Vine spoke about his situation with K.I.
Like, that's somebody, like, say somebody you DM and talk to. Like, one day they just gone. Now you like, damn, who the f*** I'm gonna talk to now?
Baby Vine said they got that brick and hit him in his brick as an FPG member who was gunned down. Back in 2017, along with Kobe Mack on 63rd St. Lawrence, the police found one of them with a wound to the head lying in front of a house, and the second victim with wounds to the back and arm behind the house. They were both pronounced dead. FVG Brick was a brother to FPG Duck, another rapper. King Bond has humiliated multiple times because in a song named GTA, Vine said he made a diss and now he a ghost, and it happened fast, and FBG Duck was a well-known Chicago drill rapper and one of Vine's most known. Ups because he and Vaughn used to always send shots at each other, but not long after Duck dropped his own Dead Dissing Gold of All Blacks Fallen Ones, it made them want to get rid of him ASAP since it was one of the most disrespectful songs ever, and a month later, I left VG Duck was shopping 2 vehicles pulled up near him and started opening fire. Duck had taken multiple shots and was later pronounced here at the hospital. Vine hasn't only had beef with Chicago rappers because he also had problems with YB, because back in 2020 Vine and Youngboy began beefing after a clip surfaced on the internet when Vine was listening to Youngboy on Instagram saying how Youngboy captained his rap.
Youngboy talking about on this song, bro.
What?
You talking crazy on it.
Oh yeah?
He ain't even like that.
Oh!
On his nah.
Youngboy never publicly responded to Vine, but many believe he was aware of the diss, and things between the two rappers were quiet for nearly 2 years since both rappers were being monitored by police due to their lengthy criminal records. But in November of 2020, outside of a lounge in Atlanta, an altercation broke out between NBA affiliate Quando Rondo and King Von leading to shots being fired in King Von's life being taken, and click this video on the screen, right quick, trust me, you will enjoy it foreign.